Feast of YAHUAH. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 5 through 8. Passover and unleavened bread. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, between the evenings, is the Passover to YAHUAH, and on the 15th day of this month is the festival of unleavened bread to YAHUAH. 7 days you eat unleavened bread. On the first day you have a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work, and you shall bring an offering made by fire to YAHUAH for 7 days. On the 7th day is a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. First fruits. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 9 through 11. And YAHUAH spoke to Moshe, Speak to the children of Yasharah, and you shall say to them, When you come into the land which I give you, and shall reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before YAHUAH for your acceptance. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest wave it. Feast of Weeks. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 15 and 16. And from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf, the wave offering, you shall count for yourselves 7 completed Sabbaths until the morrow. After the 7th Sabbath, you count 50 days. Then you shall bring a new grain offering to YAHUAH. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 21. And on the same day you shall proclaim a set-apart gathering for yourselves. You do no servile work on it, a law forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. Feast of Trumpets. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 24 and 25. Speak to the children of Yasharah, saying, In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you have a rest, a remembrance, a blowing of trumpets, a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work, and you shall bring an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. Day of Atonement. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 26 through 32. And YAHUAH spoke to Moshe, On the 10th day of this 7th month is the Day of Atonement. It shall be a set-apart gathering for you, and you shall afflict your being, and shall bring an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. And you do no work on the same day, for it is the Day of Atonement, to make atonement for you before YAHUAH your Elohim. For any being who is not afflicted on the same day, he shall be cut off from his people. And any being who does any work on the same day, that being I shall destroy from the midst of his people. You do no work, a law forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It is a Sabbath of rest to you, and you shall afflict your being. On the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening to evening, you observe your Sabbath. Feast of Tabernacle. YAHUAH or Leviticus 23, 33 to 44. And YAHUAH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yasharah, saying, On the 15th day of this 7th month is the festival of booths, for 7 days to YAHUAH. On the first day is a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. For 7 days you bring an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. On the 8th day there shall be a set-apart gathering for you, and you shall bring an offering made by fire to YAHUAH. It is a closing festival. You do no servile work. These are the appointed times of YAHUAH which you proclaim as set-apart gatherings, to bring an offering made by fire to YAHUAH, a burnt offering and a grain offering, a slaughtering and drink offerings, as commanded for every day, besides the Sabbaths of YAHUAH, and besides your gifts, and besides all your vows, and besides all your voluntary offerings which you give to YAHUAH. On the 15th day of the 7th month, when you gather in the fruit of the land, observe the festival of YAHUAH for 7 days. On the first day is a rest, and on the 8th day is a rest. And you shall take for yourselves on the first day the fruit of good trees, branches of palm trees, twigs of leafy trees, and willows of the stream, and shall rejoice before Yahuwah your Elohim for 7 days. And you shall observe it as a festival to Yahuwah for 7 days in the year, a law forever in your generations. Observe it in the 7th month. Dwell in booths for 7 days. All who are native Yashruelites dwell in booths, so that your generations know that I made the children of Yasharel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. Thus did Moshe speak of the appointed times of Yahuwah to the children of Yasharel.